So we are quickly jumping into the session without much ado. So just wanted to give a quick intro about Tarun and Leon. So Tarun, he got 740 in his first attempt with Q50 and V40. That's quite decent score, which everyone mostly dreams for. And he is having experience and at higher end, that is 13 years of experience with lot variety of domains experience. And currently he is associate director in one of healthcare and pharma company. And he is targeting for HBS, Stanford GSB for 1 year program, as having higher experience. So of course, this program, which is something it suits to Tarun. So coming to Leon, we had been preparing since a while. Like he was a part of one of groups, and he recently took exam. He got 730, and let me share his score. 730, Q47, V44. This is a recent one. This is latest one. I was not aware until Leon told me that he took another exam, and before that he got Q49, V40. So that's really amazing. Back to back, V40 plus. And coming to work experience, Leon is having 3.5 years of experience, and he is targeting HBS, CBS, Booth, and UCLA for 2 years MBA program. Hey, hi. So Tarun and Leon, we would like to go, go by, uh, uh, like we would like to introduce one by one. Tarun, if you can share your experience, since how long you are preparing, what resources are you using for this, and then we will go to Leon.
Sure, sure. Thank you for that introduction, Sachin, and happy to be here. So about the journey, I would say just started a couple of months back. On I think 1st of June, I gave my first attempt. That was the first mock to see where I stand. And then on 1st of August, I gave my actual GMAT. So, I mean, mostly I followed the official guides, and one of the things I definitely did was to follow on. Was every week I was giving a mock, and in the last month, I would say almost 2 mocks a week, and in the last week I gave almost. Piyush, can you put it on mute?
Yeah, I'm doing it, Tarun. Yeah, sure.
Okay. And in the last week, I would say I gave about 4 to 5 mocks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy to answer specific questions when we come to it. Go ahead, Leon.
Right, I think I'll jump in now. So I'm very happy to be with you guys here as well. This active GMAT with POE group has been a great part of my GMAT journey. I actually helped start this group back in January, but to be very honest, I started taking my GMAT preparation seriously in the first day of March. So let's see how can we start. I'm just gonna do some a summary very quick here, and then we can jump in the questions. I'm also gonna ask Sachin if maybe he can share with you my debrief, which has a lot of details in GMAT Club, and I also have like a 45-minute talk with the guys from eGMAT with a lot of details as well. But basically, my journey started back in March. When I decided to actually choose a course to start looking at the GMAT stuff from the concept, because I took my first GMAT mock and I scored very poorly. I scored a 570, 560, something like that, and then I knew that it wasn't, my problem was not the actual content, but it was actually GMAT has a very specific way it wants you to think, and I actually needed some course that will help me look at that. I have a mechanical engineering background, so I thought I wouldn't have that much problem with quant, and I was a bit wrong. So I took eGMAT for you guys who don't know, I took EGMAT for both quant and verbal. I got a lot of people telling me to not use EGMAT, to use Manhattan, to use Target, to use a lot of them. The problem is that the foreign exchange rate with the Brazilian currency is very high compared to dollars, and EGMAT was the cheapest one. That's one of the reasons why I chose EGMAT. And I gotta say, it was very helpful, especially the verbal part. So what I did was I went topic by topic, actually learning exactly what the GMAT would, what I would get on the GMAT, topic by topic. I did one topic of quant in a week, and a topic in verbal in another week. Um, and after I finished, I a month of only practice. In this month, I took I would say like 6 mocks, I think, four to six, and it was a dramatic change. I jumped from 570 700 plus level. I scored like 710, 720s, and then I took my first official test, which was online, and I scored a 730. Q49 V40, and then after that, I relaxed a little bit, and I had an in-person test that was scheduled before I even took the online one, and I decided to just give it another try, and I got the same 730 with a Q47 or this time. That's basically my GMAT journey so far. If we can jump into the questions, I can give you a lot more detail. Absolutely.
And
Hey,
Leon, how did
thanks,
you gap
and
your?
yeah, Rahul,
I'm
you can
sorry,
go ahead.
continue. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to know, how did you gap your two tests, the online and offline exam? How do you gap it? Like, how many days apart were these?
We're about 2 weeks apart, I'd say, a bit more than 2 weeks, about 20 days. But to be very honest, I was very relaxed after I got the first 730. So my study pace was a lot slower for the second test. There's about 20 weeks, 20 days um, difference from one to the other.
Okay, thank you.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So yeah. So okay, guys. I'm just going through the questions. Okay. If you guys find there is something missing, so you can please feel free to ask any specific question. So starting from some of very specific questions, very general questions. Uh, of course, everyone is having some doubts, some dilemma, like about system and all, how to go for online exam. So. What's your opinion, Tarun, and what Leon, you took one in person and online. So what was your experience like? You have taken two in two different manners, right? So I think we can start from Tarun. Yeah, Tarun, what
Sure.
fear? Yeah, do people have, and which you feel that it's very smooth and all. So please share your inputs.
Sure. And that's again a good question, because I myself had so many doubts before I jumped into the online exam. Okay, and before that, there are various questions. Sometimes I get that one should go for the online one or the offline one. The reason I chose the online one was, one, I did not want to wear a mask while giving the examination. Second, my written is quite bad, so I wanted to avoid the AWA section. And then the third was this online version. You can send your scores to more than 5 schools, and that's absolutely free of cost. So that was one of the reasons I chose the online version. So for the online, I think usual practice that happens. Uh, can people just put on mute? There's some disturbance coming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm just muting everyone.
Sure. So, one of the major things that I did was, in the week my online exam was there, I used the same place to sit and give mocks, so I get the actual feel. On the day of the examination, you have to log in about 15 minutes prior, and then the proctor comes in. You get a link on your phone, You have to click photographs of your room from all 4 sides, send it to their portal. And I'll also quickly show you, what my board was. So this was the board that I used. It's not very big. It's the size of, I would say, a copy, because usually use copy to solve questions. I didn't want a very big board. Rather, I'll rub it between the questions. So yeah, I mean, that was the experience that I had. And overall, the proctor interaction was only in the beginning. In the middle of it, there was no interaction. Even in the end, there was no interaction. The only thing you have to do is, when each of your section is ending, you have to clean your whiteboard and show it in front of the camera. So it is being recorded. So you just show it like this, and it is recorded. So that's my experience.
Right. Guess I'll
Tarun,
jump in. Sorry.
just a
Go
follow-on
on.
question. Is it to Tarun? Is it okay to ask right now? Hi, Tarun. Ashish here. Just a
So sure.
follow-on question on the online GMAT journey. Is it okay to ask
Yeah,
now?
yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah, you told about AWS, right? So you wanted to
Right.
avoid AWS, but certain
AWA.
colleges, yeah.
Yeah.
So certain colleges, they want AWS score. I mean, for as a part of their evaluation process during the application, right? So how you are trying to coping up with that?
So Ashish, I studied before appearing for the online one. At least for this year, no college is asking for an AWS score. I'm not sure how it will be in the subsequent years, but my objective was to apply this year itself. I will not be using the score after a couple of years. Hence, it made sense to go for it. I don't think this year they are keeping it mandatory. Maybe from next year they may want, but I don't think they can discount the online score straight up. So, I mean, if you have seen any specific college say that, please let me know. But as far as I know, I don't think there is any specific restriction from the college's side, at least for this year.
Okay, that does help. One more question regarding to the whiteboard. You said that I mean you wanted to rub in between the question and you wanted to show to the proctor that you are actually rubbing off the previous work, right? So how does
Right.
that? I mean, every time when you are rubbing off, you wanted to show that or you are doing this kind of activity.
No, only at the end of a section. After the end of first section, after the end of first section was QA. After the end of QA, then after the end of V, then after the end of IR. That's the 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, but suppose you are at question number 2 and your entire
No,
whiteboard
you
is
don't have.
completely.
No, you don't. You can just rub it as you want, like like I'm doing it. You don't have to show it every time.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
usually to save time, what I used to do was the moment I click next, it takes a couple of seconds. So I used to click next and quickly rub it. That's what I used to do.
Fantastic. Okay, and regarding the environment of the room, I mean, let's suppose in my room there are certain posters are there when where my study table is there. So is it okay to GMAT like such kind of posters? Is
Good
that I mean
question.
there is nothing related to GMAT, GMAT preparation and all. It's just such kind of motivation posters, some photographs and all anything.
Good question, Ashish. I mean, in fact, in the room I had, it was a mandir, so I had so many posters around. The only thing is, the desk you are using, it should not have any drawers, and you should not have anything reachable within a hand's distance. So they'll see that.
Okay.
So nothing should be like no paper, no picture should be in a hand's distance. That's about it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Tarun. Yeah. Leon, you
Yeah,
can
hi,
jump up
Tarun.
now. Sorry to yeah.
Tarun, one question is coming. Paras is asking like, what order were the sections and how did you get
It's
used
the
to it?
same. I
In
think
online
Leon answered
exam, we
that.
have fixed order, right? So that's what the most of questions.
Yeah. Leon answered that. That
Okay,
option
okay.
is only available for the in-center one. On the online one, it is fixed, and you do not get a break between quant and verbal. Thankfully, my quant was good, so I finished like 3-4 minutes in advance, and I used those 3 minutes. I did not press submit on the last question. So you guys may also want to do that in case you finish quant early, because between quant and verbal there will be no time available. So do not submit early. If you have 3 minutes, use it, breathe in, breathe out, be prepared for verbal, and then press next.
Yeah.
That's a great tip.
One more question. This is, I think, Tarun can handle this question. Gaurav is asking, IIM Ahmedabad is allowing online exams. But would this be applicable in next year as well? Because it's valid for 5 years, right? So they
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
to take exam again or something like that. Is it so? Can you please clarify on that?
If
See,
if Tarun, if Tarun is okay, I'd love to approach that one.
sure. Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead.
actually, I'm gonna answer that actually in a broader spectrum. I see a lot of concern regarding the online exam. For example, is it gonna be valid only for this year, for 5 years? Are schools gonna accept it because there's no AWA? Is the online exam harder? Is it easier? I see a lot of this kind of questions. I would just ask the guys if you could put it on mute.
Yeah, sure,
Yep,
sure.
yep. Thank you. So I see a lot of those concerns. Guys, honestly, if you guys have any concerns, contact the admissions from the schools you want, and they're gonna happily reply to you. But honestly, go into the GMAC Q&A page, and it's all there. And honestly, if it's there, I don't see any reason why it's going to change. So they say it's valid for 5 years, so it is going to be valid for 5 years. They say it's not harder, so it's not harder, and it's not easier. I took them both. I took both the in-person and the online. It's the same level. Of course, my scores were different, but of course, because, well, it's different kinds of questions, right? So in the in-person, I got some reading comprehension passages that were a little bit easier to me, but not because the questions were easier, but actually because the actual passage talked about something that was within my interest, but the actual test is going to be the same level of difficulty. There's no change. There's no change. And if the schools say that because of the COVID-19 they are accepting the online GMAT, so you shouldn't worry. You shouldn't worry because there's no AWA. You shouldn't worry because if they say so, then it's gonna be just as valid as the normal in person. Okay. And so just to directly address the the question here in the chat, is valid for 5 years. Okay. Well, and if you, for example, I bought the online experience with the premise of it being valid for 5 years. So for all purposes, it's kind of like a contract. I bought something with the premise that's going to be valid for 5 years. So I have the right to claim that score 5 years from now, right? Whoa.
Hi Leon and hi Tarun.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, so congratulations to both of you on a great score. My question was regarding the online exam, and basically my worry is if like there are certain noises in and around, right? You cannot expect it to be a soundproof room or something of that sort.
No,
So
I don't think.
did you guys experience anything of that sort?
For me, it was a very smooth experience. Tarun summed up very nicely. Um, they all know that you can be in a room that could be just as quiet as possible. But of course, if you can have some noise from the street. You can have, in my case, for example, you can have some birds singing.
Yeah.
It's it,
Exactly.
it's
That is
okay,
what I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be an issue. I live right next to a big tree full of birds, and they were singing for the whole thing, and that was not a problem. What could be a problem is if they feel that someone is actually talking to you.
Yes.
That could be a problem. I mean, you're going to be recorded for the whole thing, and the reason why the scores don't come up right away, it's because they're going to be
They,
reviewing that
right,
recording.
right.
So if you don't have anything like any suspicious sounds or any suspicious behavior, for example, be turning your head and looking away all of the time, which could be suspicious, it's not going to be a problem. They are aware that you might be in an environment that maybe have some environmental noises.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so Leon, I have a few questions here.
Sachin,
So the
Sachin, I
first
see.
one,
Just a
Hello.
second.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, guys. I just announcement. In this, this is free session. This is not premium Zoom session, so it allows only 45 minutes. So I have pasted the link over there. Okay, we can join again by clicking on that link. Is it okay with you all?
So let's use that because 2 minutes it's saying it'll close. Or
Yeah, yeah.
should we join that link instead?
Yeah. I have just pasted that. I'm again pasting the same link. Okay. Yeah. We can connect on this same link.
Okay, guys. So guys, let's click that link. I think otherwise
Please
this
copy
link.
paste this link because as the session will end, you might miss this link. Okay. Otherwise, you can get it from WhatsApp if you have WhatsApp handy, so you can get it from there as well. Yeah. So I'm just ending it. Okay. I'm just ending it. We will again connect.
Okay.